What's up, everyone? It's All You Can Geek Gamecast. I'm here, Mike Siniti, with Corey Feinsod
Yo, yo.
and Tony Korkanakis.
Hello.
Hey,
Jim is still on his hiatus. We will let you know when he's on his way back, but he will be here hopefully pretty soon, we hope. Anyway, we're in a big Gamecast here today. We've got a bunch of news. I guess we'll start with the Game Awards stuff came out. Some of it was leaked first.
we going right into the gaming
Oh
news,
no,
Mike? Or should
I
we?
guess I don't know. Yeah, sure. We'll do what we've been up to. See,
I
it's
don't
been
know.
a
It's up
while
to
since
you.
I've
You're
done this.
hosting tonight, so I just want to
No,
make
screw
sure.
it.
All right,
No,
let's go.
let's go. So, I guess Corey, what have you been playing?
This week, I've only got to play a little bit, and it was just a little bit of Arc Raiders. Did not play any Borderlands. First week since Borderlands came out that I've not played Borderlands, and it feels
Wow.
weird,
Wow.
but I didn't miss it. I didn't. I was like,
Wow.
oh
Road to
man, it's like
recovery.
nothing.
Do
Oh,
not
no.
miss it.
The thing is, like, they have these updates each week where they do different events and things like that, but it's not enough right now. They need to release something that's going to bring people back to the game because you can't. This game is just not. It doesn't have the same draw for me like as Borderlands 2, where I just play every character over and over and over again. Here, it's like you kind of just I like one character and it kind of funnels you into just having the one character. And so, yeah, I was surprised. I was like, oh wow, I didn't actually get any Borderlands 4 in this week. But Arc Raiders still a great game, a lot of fun, and it's like you can do bite-size runs if you want. You know, these like couple runs here and there. Play for 30, 40 minutes and feel like you accomplish things. And there's always memorable moments. Like they just have these constant like
Uh,
events that come up or things that happen where it's just like something that's like can only happen in this type of game. I was playing with a group, and they just want to do PvP. Like, they're like, all right, we're just gonna go in and kill everybody. I was like, sure, all right, let's do it. And then, but then they're like, all right, we're gonna set up all these, like, trying to do all these elaborate traps and set up these mines and stuff. So like putting up these different like traps, so when they run through the people
yeah.
run through the door or whatever, it's gonna go off, and then they can ambush them. So like now we're just sitting there waiting. I'm like, why are we waiting? Like, what are we doing here? I thought you wanted to kill people. Like, let's go out and find them. And so then one guy's like, you know what? I'm gonna get the whistle. Like, he start blowing a whistle or something
Yeah.
and trying to make noise. And then the other guy's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? He's like, well, how are they gonna come through this door?
Yeah.
And so it's just like they started arguing. So it's just funny. And then somebody finally comes through and like obviously we just destroy them. But it's like, I, why didn't we just go and like, throw a grenade into a room and just like charge and blast and like you die like that's what we're here for. So but yeah, it's always something like that. But I do appreciate like they have different loadouts and different things, not necessarily loadouts, but you have like the free loadout. You can just go in and you don't really care about if you die or not, but if you can get this stuff, then you're like, oh, I got what I really needed, I gotta get out. That tension's always there, and it's always fun to figure out that push your luck moment of, do I go or do I not go?
Yeah, it's been one of the. That's pretty much the game I've been playing the most this past week, too. But it's really funny where you go from the dynamic of, you know what, I'm just going to take a free loadout because the community, we unlocked the newest map. And the newest map is all indoors, so you don't have the most, like 99% indoors. You don't have the threat of like all these big enemies out on the map that can find you. The flyers are limited to the smaller ones, so that would mean it's a little easier, right? Well, you would think that, but then people take advantage of that and say, oh, well, because I don't have that looming threat of the bigger monsters being able to shoot me, I'm just going to go and fuck around and shoot other people. So this map, ever since I've been on it, ever since the community unlocked it, it has been a PvP fest. Where it's just like, you
Mm.
zone in, and I'm at the point where I shoot first, and I don't ask questions. Right? Either way, it's just like, you know what, I see you. Because
Mm-hmm.
the first time I did it, I was like, and before I could even utter the word friendly, like he just turned around and started blasting me. I was like, okay, like that's how it is, and that's how it's gonna be. We're gonna set this tone, and that has been consistent throughout my runs on that. But one of the
In
things
solo too, like
I've done a mix.
because
Like
I've noticed solo people are much more friendly
people are
and like,
way friendlier in solo. Yeah.
yeah, it's interesting because like a guy like fell down in front of me and like started getting up. I was like, I panicked and I started shooting. He's like, chill, 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 man.
chill,
So
chill,
it's
bro.
just like, he's like, we can get out of this together. I was like, fair, true, all right.
I think
So, but
when
yeah,
it's solo, you don't have other people obviously to rely on. So like people are more skittish, where it's like, okay, I can So the thing is, the game is not zero sum, right? Because there is more loot than there are slots that people can carry. So realistically, the best thing to do is for players to not fight each other and actually just team up against the bigger mechs and stuff. But obviously, given
greed.
yeah, greed or prisoner's dilemma type of situations, like yeah, well, I could shoot that guy because he could have anything on him, right? Like it could be
It's a
a
loot
boat,
box.
right? It could be a boat, right? It's like
Yeah.
but you can loot
Is
the map.
one
You did
question
all
I
the work
have
for me.
is do you think the game is like fun without PvP? Like if you're not fighting people, is it fun? Or does it feel pointless?
It's fun, but it's in a different way of fun because so you have quests that you can do. There are like some things that'll pop up during maps randomly that you can engage with. So every like hour or 2 hours, I forget the timer, um, different modifiers will come into effect. Like it'll be like, oh, this is a for an outdoor map. Let's see, like loom or bloom or something like that, where it's like plants will give off more like fruit or whatever. Or another thing, it's like, oh, this is a thunderstorm or it's dark, right? And usually when it adds to the difficulty, there's better loot modifiers, I guess, or whatever. So there is a really awesome like loot where it's like you open up a treasure chest, right? And you're like, okay, I'm not gonna find anything really good. Like I'll find like a common item, which is like white, uncommon, green, or blue, which is rare. Maybe I'll find some rare stuff. But then when you find like a purple, which I guess is epic or whatever, when you find a purple, it suddenly changes your entire like mindset. You're like, oh shit. Where it's like, okay, I need to store that if I have a safe pocket, which even if you die, you still take that back to your base. But if you're not having one of those things, now it becomes like a survival horror game where it's like, I need to extract and I need to get back to one of these 3 spots on the map basically and get there safely without dying either to the mechs and or other players. So it's fun, but it's in one of those things where you have to like be engaged with that type of loot because the whole economy of the game is like you go out, you find loot, you come back, you either craft better loot with the loot you found, or you sell it to afford different weapons and upgrades to your base, so you can make even better weapons and
Right.
shoot and kill things.
And you do
faster and
need
easier.
those purple epic items for certain upgrades. So
Yeah. So it is really fun. I'm trying to think. So that PvP, the new one, which I'm just referencing like a PvP map because just every time you go in there. Like there was one time where I loaded in, and so the weird thing is you can load in like halfway through a match or so, where it's like, oh, you look at the timer, you're like, fuck me. So I loaded it into a room, and there was like just 2 dead bodies right in front of us. I was like, okay, well, I'll just loot whatever's on these guys because I came in with a free loadout. Because the whole thing is like I'm not risking my like good loot,
stuff.
my good weapons, because who knows, anything could happen. I've died so many times. I've died on that map more than I died on any other map so far. So my whole thing has been using a free loadout, whereas like if I die, whatever, I didn't lose anything. But if I win or I like scavenge, then I can bring back some really good stuff. So earlier today, I was in a group with a couple friends, and we just like destroying these people and just looting their corpses and taking like rank 3 and 4 weapons. We're just like, oh shit, this is a good haul. Like hell yeah, man. Like thanks. And people get so mad in this game. People get so mad. It's really funny. Except for this one guy actually. I saw him kill another player, and I was waiting for him to loot that guy's body, and I snuck up behind him and threw the equivalent of a sticky grenade on him. And he's hearing the ticking go off, and he turns around and looks at me just as I'm pulling out my gun to shoot him. He's like, "Huh, well played," and just like dies. And I was like, "Oh, well." He's like, "GG." I was like, "Well, GG." Like the one dude who didn't like call me a derogatory term or slur or anything like that. I was like, "Good for you, man. I respect that." But yeah, that's it for me.
Okay. All right. So, Corey, what have you been up to?
I did Arc Raiders. That was my thing. And I was talking about
That was
Borderlands.
you?
Yeah.
That's right. Okay. All right.
What have you been
For
playing?
me,
Yeah. What's going
I've
on
been
there?
playing mostly Outer Worlds 2.
Still.
I like, yeah, it's longer than I thought it would be. That's
Okay.
good, mostly. It I still have my old gripes with it, how, you know, it doesn't have like tangible stuff in it too much, but and it's still it has good reactivity in the quests, and you know, sometimes if you bring along like the right character, they'll have something to say or do even in certain situations. Now, you can't have characters like unlock things for you or hack, which is annoying. But they can talk some people down that you wouldn't otherwise if they weren't there, and they'll remember certain things. So it's pretty good. I see why people like the RPG stuff in it. You can get into the real nitty gritty and build up a real big, like, I don't know, stealth build, which is apparently not advisable, but that's closest to what I've been doing. I'm like a stealth sniper mostly. Um, and the one thing I do like about the companions is they have like multi-tiered companion quests. Like, you'll do something with them once, and then they'll get back to you, and you'll get to do more to go on. Just spilled my drink on my lap, but whatever. Um,
Oh no, go clean that off, man. We can cover for you in a bit there.
but Jesus Christ,
Just take your pants off, Mike.
Doing it
It's okay.
live.
it's
Yeah, I mean,
Don't get us
just
banned from Twitch.
show us. Yeah.
but I'm a little bit bored now.
Oh
Uh,
no.
Again, it's a little longer than I thought, and the companions themselves are not the most compelling.
So the
Um,
story is not driving you to come
Yeah.
back
So
and
what do
keep
you like
playing it
about
and
the
push
game?
you forward.
Like,
Yeah.
it feels like one of those
well,
games where you're like
like
talking so much negative. I'm like, what do you like about the game?
I like the combat's definitely a step up from the first game, and a lot of the perks are very unique, and some of the weapons and stuff you pick up are pretty unique. And yeah, it reacts well based on quests you've done already or people you found and talked to already. It's pretty good like that. It's just the companions aren't great, and the story is, it's whatever. It's not. It doesn't have the sort of like in the first game you were awoken and everyone from your colony ship was in stasis, and you had to figure out how to wake them up with the help of a mad scientist. That was immediately clear and explained to you. In this game, something happens early on, but you're part of the Earth Directorate, which is like some unknown previously like space police, and
ACAB.
there's just there's just you're there. There's a company that has basically tried to colonize this new area, new galaxy, new solar system, I guess. Then there's like two or three warring factions that were there already, and all of them suck in different ways, and you don't really care. And the Protectorate is the one that you can't ally with at all, and I don't really know how they're worse than everyone else. They're like Anti's Choice is the super capitalist one, right? And they're the ones that came to sort of colonize. Then we have the Order, and they are so determined to follow the equation, which is like math and science, and everything else is stupid. They're a little weird, but you get where they're coming from. But they're also like ineffective and weird
Yeah,
because
this feels like Fallout factions,
they,
right? Like,
yeah. And then there's the Protectorate, who you can never ally with, but you do get one companion who's part of them, and you just kill them on sight all the time. You can't like talk to them ever, which seems a little weird. But they're the ones that um, they're basically communists, but also fascists. Like, they have a very strict, like, no thinking allowed society, and they like brainwash their subjects, and it's like a monarchy with their sovereign. And but also they they're like the opposite of Anti's Choice, so they don't always feel that bad. They share, they have community. The individual people in it seem kind of cool and chill when you're not fighting them, but then pretty soon you have to fight them all. So it's all this mishmash, and and you're just trying to find like a conspiracy within it. Like, there's rifts growing in the system,
so
and you want
you
to
do
figure out
like the story, or
who
you don't
knows
like
how
the
to.
story? I'm lost at this
I
point.
I don't real. It doesn't quite have the urgency of the first one, the story.
Okay, so it's
It's a
combat
little
and questing. That's good.
yes,
Okay.
combat
Okay.
questing and a few
Yeah,
of
it's
the
unfortunate then.
items.
Like the this main
Um,
storyline is what you'd think would bring you back to try to solve
it's
that and
definitely
figure it
more
out and
complicated than the first game,
mm.
but I'm not sure that makes it better. But really,
No,
it's the
that's
companions that are
that's
the biggest
absolutely
problem. I kind
the
of
thing.
like two or three of them, but some of them like in these games you normally you go through the list, you gray out all the conversation options, like even with the history of the characters, you just want to get it all like so you know it. And in this game, actually, that can be helpful because information is normally like learning something is a way to sort of get around the fact that if you don't have the right skills, you can't do certain stuff. Like if you find information, you can either get through a hacked door or a conversation better. So if you find something, it rewards exploration and talking to people. But there's a few side character like companions that I've just didn't feel motivated to just ask them about their like history. I'm like, I don't really care about this
Mm.
person's family, like
It
whatever.
sounds like they added more, but didn't necessarily make it a better game. Just gave you more things that you didn't want to do. So that's
Kind
what
of
it
feel
sounds
like
like
that.
based on what you're saying.
I kind of
And
feel like that. I still like it enough, but we'll see if how it sticks the landing. If it makes the story feel a little better. There was some twist recently that was okay, but whatever.
yeah,
Other than
just
that, though, I've been also going back into Marvel Rivals to play as Gambit.
oh, the
Uh,
Gambit.
Gam- Gambit is there. I'm a sucker for an X-Man, and Gambit is pretty fun. Uh, he's the surprise strategist, as I think we mentioned earlier. I don't know if we mentioned that here, but whatever.
Last week we did. Hmm.
Yeah. So I was able to beat him a few times because even if he's a new character, not always wants to be a strategist. So I've been him a few times, and he does feel a little bit like that hybrid role, which is pretty cool, where he is
I guess
like
Zenyatta
a
from
little
Yeah,
bit.
sort
Overwatch.
of. He does have the healing debuff, so that's actually
Yeah, he
pretty
has that
important.
stuff, sure. He Now people like the high level people online sort of overplayed the fact that he has like a high like time to kill if you do everything optimally. That hardly ever happens in real life, at least when I play. But so he's not going to get like 40 eliminations a game or anything, but you can get 20. But you still shouldn't really be focusing on killing too much because you're one of two supports. But I've been decently successful with them. I've not gotten the big healing numbers that other people have, or I would on like a more traditional healer. I'm not getting my, you know, cloak and dagger or invisible woman type healing numbers. So maybe that's me just having to learn. His healing is, very specific to who you're aiming at, and there's not a whole lot of area of effect healing for him.
He's one of
So
those champions or heroes, rivals, whatever the term is, where at least from what I've played, it feels like you have to know when to press the brakes as healing, and then when you need to turn on the gas and use your card. So his whole resource is cards, right? And you could use the cards
yeah,
for
they
either
go pretty
chain healing or
fast.
AOE healing, or you can flip it
Hmm.
to the DPS card and you're doing bigger DPS for him and debuffing the enemy. So you
Yeah,
can only store 4 cards, so you have to really know when it's like, okay, like it's the beginning of the team fight. Probably don't want to use your debuff cards just yet because it's not like you're gonna knock them out right away. But picking your targets smartly and then healing your characters
Mm.
at the
So
opportune
he's
time.
kind of got that high complexity.
Yeah, he's definitely on the upper end of the complexity
yeah,
tier for
especially for
healers.
a strategist. 'Cause,
Oh, that sounds
you know,
fun though. Then it
It is
gives
fun.
no, he's fun.
people
And
a
the
lot
other
to
the other
do.
happy side effect of him is he's got a synergy with Magneto, and now Magneto has basically
Magneto's so
for a
good right
limited
now.
time his normal attack. You press a button and it just explodes and is stronger. Which is good because Magneto, I've missed his season 0 or 1
Yeah, with Wanda, the Chaos Blade or whatever. Yeah.
with Wanda, his big like sword attack thing. So I kind of felt he was been missing something ever since then, but now he's got it back. Now Magneto can rack up some damage now. So I've been him a lot as well, pretty successfully.
Yep.
Still suck with his Fear Magnetos though, and that's his ult. I always fuck those up. I have the worst Fear Magnetos, but anyway, so those are the two main things I've been playing on. I'm mostly enjoying them, but I still have my gripes with Outer Worlds, and I am a little stalled on it at the moment, but I'll get through it.
Yeah.
All right, so that's everything
Was-
we've all played, right?
Yep.
Anything else, Tony?
Hmm?
Or no?
Nope.
Huh?
Okay.
Cool.
All right, so back to the news that I almost
Let's do
started
it.
earlier. We'll talk about I guess the Game Awards stuff first, even though it's kind of a lot. So it was leaked, and then they showed up. They have the nominees listed now for everything. I think everything.
It's everything.
I think we just threw everything on there because like it could be interesting.
Right, so the most obviously what we want to get into the first and is Game of the Year nominees. So the Game of the Year we've got the list is Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2, On the Beach, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Hades 2, Hollow Knight Silksong, and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2.
Nice.
What do we feel about these nominees?
Has it
Is
always
someone
been this
missing? Is
number?
something there that shouldn't be
So-
there? I feel like it's a lot. There might have been less before.
No, we've always had
I'm not sure,
6.
though.
Okay.
Really?
I don't know why I felt like there was actually more than last time, but whatever. I mean, sure. Like, I always, I always find it funny that you have games that haven't been released yet that can't or not necessarily aren't going to be on this list. That
Yeah, you figure
Yeah.
most of the heavy hitters happen before December normally, but last year we missed Indiana Jones because of that, so that's why
Right.
it's being considered for something this year.
Mm-hmm. But no, I mean, it's a fair list, I think.
Yeah, I mean,
There
Is
was
there anything you think is missing?
yeah, like I talked about in the Discord. I was surprised that Split Fiction wasn't on there, and what was the other game I said? I was surprised it wasn't on the list. I know there's a second game.
I think I know
I'm surprised. Borderlands. No.
Ghost of
kidding.
Yotei was on. Some people
Yeah.
thought that might have made it, but
Mm-hmm.
maybe. But I wouldn't have been surprised with a nomination from that. But I also didn't think it had a chance of winning, so maybe that means it shouldn't be nominated.
I just I don't know anyone that's played Death Stranding. Is it Game
Well, everyone
of the
who
Year
has
material?
loves it.
No,
though.
it's because
That's the thing,
Keeley was the fucking.
Well, I
fillet
know
and
why. You
jerk-
know
Oh,
why.
I know, but I gotta,
No.
I gotta say
But-
it just to will it into the universe
Yeah.
here.
Any
That Keeley
chance you
needs the
get, you
fucking
gotta throw it
fillet.
out there.
Yeah, exactly.
I
I mean,
do
just like
think, though,
Kojima.
that people-
Anytime Kojima has something, Geo's got to throw it off there.
Yep.
I do think that people who play it are pretty high on it, though. I think it's up there in the Metacritic for the year.
It
just
still
reminds
lower
me
than
of those-
Blueprints and
The Oscars and like this
Yep.
movie. How is this movie an Oscar-nominated movie? It's like, oh well, because it's just that it was designed to be a award-winning movie, not necessarily a good movie or one that's gonna make money. That's what this
Yeah,
reminds me of.
Blueprints would have been one that I thought might have had a shot at getting in there. People were going crazy about that earlier in the year, but
Blueprints
it's
is
a very
it's hurt by the fact
niche
that
thing.
the international I think it's only available in a couple languages, so that hurts the international journalists who weren't able to play it because it is a very story understanding novel whatever puzzle type game where it's not like if you can't read this you're not going to be able to play. But Split Fiction was really the thing that I was
Especially with their relationship.
right. Well, the thing is, I mean, they're a previous Game of the Year award winner
Yep.
with was it
It
Takes
Takes
Two?
Two. Yeah.
And it reviewed well, so like above 90. So
And
it's
then,
like-
a lot of people loved it. So
Yeah, so
I,
it
I,
was
I
like-
think
Well-
people felt like It Takes Two is maybe better, but they were
Sure.
right up there. Yeah.
sure, but yeah,
I do think
was-
in this year it's hard for that, and I think personally I would sort of give it a little asterisk where it's a required co-op game, so it's like right. To me,
I mean, that's a game
sort
though.
of-
That's the requirement of the game.
Yeah, I know. So it's hard to that makes it kind of its own thing. In my yeah, I could see it though, but which one up here doesn't make sense to me? But I don't know if people liked Hades 2 that much. I guess that they did
It's
though.
the highest rated game of the year, actually.
I don't know. I'm glad Kingdom Come Deliverance isn't forgotten because it was very early in the year, and it's up there for me personally.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but
Yeah.
yeah,
No, I mean, like I said, it's
it's a
hard.
tough
There's
year.
got a lot of good games, but
No,
I
it's a
guess
tough year because I'm looking at this and the people who like these games, which the people, every one of these I've heard someone say like this is an all timer for me
Mhm.
this year. So
I mean,
we've had all
player's gonna
timers
win it.
coming in.
So it's kind of like as soon as
I
that game
think
came
so.
out and GTA like was delayed, we're like, well, here's your new game of the year.
Yeah.
I think so. But yeah. So
Yeah.
and then the other nominations um, we've got best performance, which is interesting. A lot of Clair Obscur here as well. But Charlie Cox, who famously had no idea kind of what he was doing within this game for like a day when he recorded it. Uh, he is in the running for Expedition 33. Ben Starr, who obviously is in it a little bit more, I would say,
Hmm.
as another character in that game. Jennifer English, of course, too, as Mayel, who's there throughout. We've got Erika Ishii as Atsu in Ghost of Yote, who, you know, a lot. She's in that game, a lot. Like, it's almost
A lot of voice
100% her.
lines. Yeah.
A lot of voice lines. It's her facial, maybe even motion capture. I don't know. But yeah, you're her, and throughout, it's not like these other games. A little bit.
Hmm.
We have Kanatsu Kato. That was from the Silent Hill F.
Yep.
She's there. Is that the main character?
Yeah, yeah. It's the main character. She's
Yeah.
this is the Japanese actress, like not the English dub or anything like that, but she did
Right.
a great job. And she's performed like for like shows and movies in Japan, but this is her first game like role where she's
And
actually a
she
voice
is her
actor.
the model they used, right? She's
Yeah, I
the
think
model for
she
the
was also
character
the model
right?
too. But
She did.
she did a fantastic job. And it's really funny because she's actually been streaming, showing herself playing the game,
Nice.
and it's so funny because like, uh, I'm not trying to make fun of her in particular, but it's like just when you have any non-gamer trying to play a game that, and it's funny when it's like
Frustrating to
them
watch.
in there, and she's dying a lot. It's a lot of the puzzles are
Hmm.
like it's like complicated because I think we as gamers forget that it's like, oh, once you've seen like a door puzzle or a box puzzle, like every game's box or door puzzle, like you kind of
Yep.
you kind of know what you have to do, right? But if you've never played a game before and you see a box puzzle, oh my fuck, kind of that thing. So something like that. And there's a joke in the community now that because Konami just patches a game to introduce a even easier difficulty mode for both combat and puzzles, and the community's kind of like lightly poking fun at her by saying they think the devs were watching her stream are like, actually, yeah, maybe we should make a new easy difficulty. But she's enjoying, she's having a good time, and happy to see it for her because she's a really relatively like unknown on this
Yeah.
list compared to everybody else.
Yeah. One person. There's one more that would be Troy Baker
Yeah,
for Indiana Jones: The Great Circle. As I mentioned, has to get pushed to this year because it came out in December. Although it also came out on PlayStation later in this calendar year. And that's an interesting one because he's there doing a convincing impression of another actor. Like
yeah,
that's his job.
he did a great job.
But it was good. And obviously that game is mostly him as well too. So I don't know. I don't know if anyone has favorite. I kind of
Mm.
I don't I don't really have much thought about the performance one here. I I played with all of these though, except for
Silent Hill.
Silent Hill. All these games I've played, and one notable I think omission is Tom McKay as Henry from Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, who actually also is a kind of non-gamer who's been playing his game all year because it's taking him forever to play through
Makes sense.
Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. And it's pretty funny because he plays a very psychopathic Henry, which is
Ugh.
it's not the popular way to go all the time, but it is funny. So um, yeah, he didn't make it for the performance, which I feel like there's a hint of like comedy to his performance. Maybe that hurts him a little. Like his guys, like Henry's kind of goofy a little, but I don't know.
That's one of
Either
the
way, these are all well deserved.
yeah. I mean, anybody that wins on this list, I wouldn't be like upset about. And really, I have to think about like the discrepancies or the nuance. Because the unfortunate thing is, like, I just feel again in an award show like this, it kind of favors the more drama, like or dramatical,
Of course.
performances.
I would if I had to bet on one, I would say Jennifer English as male.
Yeah, I think it's probably gonna be her, or I could even see Charlie Cox. Rooting for my boy Ben Starr, because I feel I actually did a really good job as Clive.
I think it would be funny if it was Charlie Cox. Is he going to show up? I don't think so. And
I could always
and
record something.
he already like spoke pretty disparagingly of his own performance in this game. So
I don't think it was
pretty funny
disparaging,
if he
or at least the
were to-
clip I saw. Somebody asked him a question about it, and he like was it he I think he felt ashamed actually. He was like, I feel so bad because, long story short, he was out with his kids somewhere, and people recognized him. Were like, oh, we really love you, like blah blah blah, and he just assumed they're like, oh, you're Daredevil. He's like, and he mentioned it, and they're like, oh no, we're talking about Gustav from Clair Obscur, and he's like, what? Like he didn't even. He's like, wait, is it Clair Obscur? Is it Expedition 33? And they're just like, you can refer. The whole thing is the whole title, but you could say either, and people will know what you're talking about. And he's like, oh, I haven't played a game since probably Mario 64, so I really need to get a console and play this game because, and it felt like he had imposter syndrome, like where he's like, I'm getting so many compliments and recognition from all these people for my performance, and I did 4 hours in the studio in one day, like,
right?
Yeah.
So so I don't know. I maybe not disparagingly, but he didn't think much of it.
Right.
I think it's more the fact that he probably felt like he didn't do as much as he could have compared to other actors who put more time and effort in like mocaps and stuff.
Yeah.
I think he didn't mocap anything.
Yep. So that's mostly it about the Game Awards. Expedition 33 obviously has 12 nominations total, most of anything. Not a big surprise there.
It's crazy.
Anything else we want to talk about with that? I don't see.
Not particularly, but I want to rant just because. I mean, I think it's Expedition 33 going to carry it away, and I'm not upset about it because I love that game and it's going to be in my contention at least. But I feel like in the past couple of years, there's been a game where it's like the industry, and I use quotes or an asterisk or whatever you want to say, industry comprising of both critics and fans, feels like they just choose one game, right? And it's just like every year, it's like you have to like this game, you have to think it's amazing, you have to like be part of the the movement in the moment. I get that to a degree, right? Like we all want to be part of like, oh man, like I'm a fan of this, like I'm so happy, right? But like at least when it comes to games, and kind of to a degree here with Expedition 33, they're like, wow, blah blah blah. And I'm like, yeah, it's really good, but like, have you played? What was the last RPG you played before this, right? And most of the time they're like, oh, I can't even think of one. I'm like, yeah, so like I get you enjoyed it, but like why this one? Because I could like name a year. I'll pick an RPG out of the year for you. Like try that one. But I just feel like they chose this one, Expedition 33, for various reasons, right? The low developer count, right? The AA gaming showing up, people like Square Enix and whatnot, who's been floundering with Final Fantasy. So it's just kind of like, okay. And then last year we had Astrobot, who was the remnants of Sony Japan, who it's like, oh, this little platformer. And journalists worldwide apparently just remembered, oh my God, platformers can be good games? And it's just like, you fucking idiot. Like, you guys remember me talking about it. It's like, what, have you not played a Mario game? They've been releasing one every couple of years for like the past 2 decades. But apparently you just remembered in the year that Sony Japan finally published a platforming game, right? And before that was Baldur's Gate 3, again, with like a CRPG. I'm like fucking A, guys. Like, there are so many games released every year now. Why are we just picking like one? And it's like, we have to lift this one up. I don't know. That's my rant.
No, I can understand the ranting part of it, but at the same time, it's like nice to see a game bring the genre that it's representing to the forefront.
Sure.
Where now you can be like, hey, look at all these, just as the devil's advocate here, just like, hey, look at, like, you like CRPGs? These Baldur's Gate games, like, there are.
It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, unfortunately.
No,
but,
it hasn't.
I don't know.
I think.
I think, is it better than Metaphor? Is it better than the last Final Fantasies or whatever? I think so. I think this is the best one of those types of games in a while.
You haven't played those
I
games,
don't think
though.
that's fake. I haven't, but you guys have. You didn't like Metaphor. And
No,
that was a
you're right. I
contender
didn't like Metaphor,
the
but
year it
people
came out.
think it.
That was the
Rebirth.
last one that was a contender.
I think I liked Rebirth more than Expedition in hindsight, but we'll see.
That's the thing, is I think like it's about timing also.
No,
right?
absolutely. It's about timing, right? If a game releases in one year versus another, right? We talk about highs and lows of different years. But I don't know. It just feels weird where it's like, it's more about sending a message, right? And I feel like it's turned from like, for the most part, Sony AAA, like, oh, Sad Dad Simulator Game of the Year award to like, oh, well, this studio's indie, or this is their first, self-published thing or whatever. I'm just like, is that like, I don't know. That's just my suspicion.
I don't necessarily disagree. Also, where's Arc Raiders?
Released too late. Released too late.
Yeah, I know. You know it. All right, what else we got, Mike?
Okay, let's get into some other stuff here. What we got on that? There's a Horizon MMO for some reason.
There's actually
and
two
it's not
Horizon
gonna be
MMOs.
on PlayStation.
There's two Horizon MMOs.
Really?
Yep.
Two?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
There's one for mobile.
Explain this.
There's one for mobile and PC, and then there's the proper MMO Horizon for PS5 and probably PC as well. I don't know.
I would assume and hope PC gets it, because otherwise
Now,
that
is this like a
be
port
dead.
of the same game? Or
No, two different games.
What's the difference?
No, they're different.
One is developed by
Steel
NetEase, I think.
Frontiers is the mobile.
Yeah, I think one is.
Yeah.
And it looks a bit more anime-ish, I would say, if you look at the character designs compared to Horizon proper. But
yeah,
it was
still Horizon is the full-fledged MMORPG that NCSoft is going to build for mobile. Sorry,
NCSoft,
it's for mobile. Yeah. NCSoft is the mobile one with Steel Frontiers. Okay. Yep. But yeah, there are two different games.
Which
I mean, I like Horizon, but I don't know. This seems like a lot of investment for something that I don't know if the attach rate of Horizon fans are going to go all in for MMO.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I think both of these games were still leftover approvals from Jim Ryan when he pinned his entire PlayStation career on games as a service. And coincidentally is the one who moved the Sony CEI headquarters to America, gutted the Japanese studio. Huh?
Oh no. Yeah, I thought they did a bunch of stuff in Europe too, right? Didn't they move a lot of stuff operations into Europe?
It was either Japan to Europe and then America, or Japan to America to Europe. One of the two, I forget.
Yeah.
But they moved out of Japan.
Took them out of Japan.
They took them out of Japan, laid off all the Japanese studios except for one, who went on to make Astrobot. Anyway, yeah, I think both these Horizon games are probably just, again, I said this before a couple of weeks ago, where it's like, when you have a direction by the CEO and the board, it's like, hey, we want to go into games as a service, right? That's our plan, because the returns are high if you win big. Like, if you win big. So that's why he approved all this other stuff, because, I mean, Naughty Dog pitched, their Last of Us multiplayer. We saw Concord, obviously, Helldivers. Another game that apparently was canceled we didn't even know about, was never publicly revealed.
Yep. Bungie's been working on stuff.
Yeah, with Marathon. So I think both these Horizon games were just, both... what's the studio that makes Horizon proper?
Guerrilla Games.
Guerrilla Games and NCSoft. It's like, hey, let's do Horizon games as a service, because everybody wants their game to be approved so they get the budget so they can hire up and staff up a studio, which will make their studio better.
And if they hit it, then you make a lot of money.
Success.
So. And they got the assets,
right. And even Insomniac was working on that Spider-Man, multiplayer.
That's the only one I'm kind of like, that would have been interesting.
The one that got canceled.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. But speaking of bad Sony ideas, Sony is taking down stuff, fan-made stuff regarding Concord.
Speaking of Concord, right? Because people hey, you know what? There was a game here and we liked it. We're going to bring it back.
There are dozens of us. Dozens.
I can't imagine half of them are doing it unironically. I bet some of them are doing it ironically. But
probably,
whatever.
But hey, if you're a fan and you wanted to play it, you could. But now Sony's even squashing that because hey, It was so bad they can't even have bootleg
They don't
versions
want
out there.
that stink on their name in public anymore. It's too late though. Everyone remembers it. Everyone will remember that.
I don't even know. Like, I feel like that has been a lot of that has been lost. Not that it's been needed to be brought up, but other than the story, right? I think it's the first time anybody's really brought up Concord in a while. But no, I mean it's
Yeah.
still one of the worst business financial decisions ever made. They, I think spent
I
billions.
don't know if it's even a bad financial decision. It's just a bad game.
Well,
with
yeah, I
bad
mean
assets,
both, because
bad
the studio was
everything.
made
Well,
for the
that makes
ground
it
up
bad.
for this game, and they closed it right
Yeah.
afterwards. They're like, "No, this is unsalvageable. Close it down. Shut it.
That makes
shut
it
down."
bad. Yep.
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
It's not like, "Hey, we see potential. You guys can't cook. This just wasn't the right recipe." It was like, "Nah, you guys are fired. Fuck this. Get out of here."
I gotta give him a little credit. Seeing it's like, hey, this is not going anywhere. We're just gonna cut the cord right now.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at that game and then putting up against rivals. It's like, I mean, I don't even know if you can get 9 out of 10 people to not play that game, rivals over Concord. I think everybody goes to rivals. So
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, even if it was free to
Okay.
play, like, I just don't see.
oh,
it.
and that was the other
Yeah,
problem,
that was big. The 40, it was $40.
Yeah,
Right?
$40.
Mhm.
Yeah. So is Arc Raiders, and that
It
worked.
is.
So we'll
Yeah,
see.
and it's funny because I didn't put it on the news,
It's a
but
different game, and again, timing, right? You don't have
Right.
rivals to rival you, so
Well, coincidentally,
Well, they have Battlefield though.
Call of Duty just
Mm.
launched, and the numbers are
Oh.
a lot lower than they were last year. That we have for like Steam, which isn't everything. I understand Steam concurrent users, but I think it paints enough of a picture that shows that both Battlefield and Arc Raiders took a huge bite out of that Call of Duty audience.
Yeah.
And just speaking
And
from the
people-
eye, go ahead.
People are looking for problems with, I think, Black Ops, and also there are problems. There's the single player mode is always online and built for co-op, which is a total reversal of what Black Ops 6's campaign from a year ago, which I thought was a surprisingly
I
great
remember you
time.
talking about
I
that.
played because it was on Game Pass, and that was like my 4th favorite game that year, pretty much. It was a spy like thriller. I thought I was very pleasantly
In
surprised.
Black Ops, you should feel. I'd feel like I'd hope it'd be like a spy-ish
Oh, yeah.
type of thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. But apparently this one, the story is stupid, and you can't pause it. It's always online, and
that's
built
crazy.
for co-op. So it's a big step back. So even
Did
if
you
you
see
were looking for the
AI
campaign
stuff
and not the
that's in
multiplayer,
there
it
as
fell
well?
apart.
Like not necessarily the campaign, but the AI generated like achievement things.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
that
all
too.
bullshit too. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But just speaking from
So yeah, they got enough reason to be in third
speaking from
anyway.
speaking from the eye, I do know that some of the people I have encountered in Arc Raiders, I could definitely tell it's like, yeah, you're a Call of Duty player just by the way they act and or talk. Is like, all right, man, like, calm down.
Right.
You're not
is
SEAL Team
not,
6 here or whatever. Although
Go.
Not
although-
trying to get a kill streak or anything.
although it was funny, there was this one team we wiped today, where as they were going down, they were using global or proximity chat, and it was some European people because they had an accent. I don't know if it was Swedish or Polish, whatever. I don't want to disparage any country, but they were shit talking us because they heard our voices and we're like, oh, we're Americans. Let's eat our hamburgers and whatever. And we're just like, how do you know we're American? Like, I could be Canadian. You don't fucking know that. And I just
Yeah.
like knocked him out and stuff. But I was just like, what is with this like casual racism from Europeans? Okay. Like, you're on our servers. Go play on your own servers. Weirdos.
So we mentioned Steam count, so I guess we'll go there. 2025, we got highest Steam player counts. I guess we're ignoring December for this year, but whatever. It's about what you'd expect, I would say. There's some surprises in there. So the top it all, Monster Hunter Wilds. That's at 1.38 million had a concurrent player count at one point. Battlefield 6 is next. Silk Song, Arc Raiders already found one that was that high. What is that schedule?
Schedule 1.
Two?
I don't know this game.
That is the drug dealer simulator
Oh,
game.
God,
It became a kind of a streamer meme type
It was.
thing.
Yeah, it was a FOMO game. FOMO game.
Yeah. Elden Ring Night Rain. They're at 5th, I think. Borderlands 4. There you are, Corey.
Yeah.
And at this point, we're at like 304K. Escape from Duckov. 301K next.
Another extraction.
Repo,
shooter.
I have no idea what this one is. REPO.
That's another
Repo.
FOMO
I don't know
type
that
game.
one.
But it's a co-op one,
Okay.
so.
Split Fiction.
Nice.
Then Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. And then the last one, the newly released Dispatch at 220K. The last one being good still because it's a top 10 list. And that's a big hit for what it was. That's that sort of visual novel game, superhero dispatch thing.
Yep.
Came out a week or two ago. It's a little more than that. It's been episodic. So pretty impressive stuff. I'm glad to see Kingdom come up there. A little surprised Monster Hunter Wilds is that far ahead of everyone. It's 1.38 and Battlefield 6
Almost
is
double. Yeah.
747K. So impressive for them. Let's see here. While we're on the subject of Steam, I guess we'll dive into this. Steam made some big announcements this week. Surprising announcements. It's got hardware. New hardware and three
Well,
things.
we had the Steam Deck before, but now we got something else.
Yeah. So
we've got
the Gabe Cube, as they say, a new Steam machine. We've got its own controller. I don't know if it comes with that or the controller is its own separate thing. I guess either
separate,
way.
but you can buy it together.
And then it's also got a VR headset, a la Meta Quest, I guess. So yeah, out of nowhere. What do we think of this?
Yeah, well, they did say that something was coming. And there was
but everyone
speculation.
expected like a Steam Deck 2 or something, I thought.
Yeah, it's probably. But like Steam controller, I think was on the horizon. I'm surprised. Like, this thing is just gonna eat up. It's just gonna cook. I mean, people are gonna buy this because it's so easy. The Steam Deck is great.
So. Because the last one didn't.
Yeah, I've reservations. So like that's the thing.
that.
This is the second version. So they did launch this before. It was called Steam Machine. But I think it was one of those deals where
it was before its time.
Before its time,
Once again,
right?
it was about timing.
Right, it is.
Yeah.
Right? And, I'll say, like, the Wii U was ahead of its time. It wasn't the good execution of it. But then you look at the Switch, and it was, like, the perfected execution at the perfect timing. And we got that. So maybe we'll see a repeat here. I really think it's going to come down to, like, two things. One is availability, right? Because if they just repeat it with how they launched the deck, where it's like, hey, you got to buy it through Steam and we send it to you, like, you can't walk into Walmart or Target or Best Buy and buy it, or log into Amazon and buy it, is going to severely limit like its sell-through rate, its penetration, whatever terminology you want to use for stuff like that, and then the price, because for this it's mid-tier, maybe even above mid-tier. I forget these days, but for that much, they didn't give price for that, I don't believe, right?
No prices for anything, I don't.
Yeah, for anything. So that leads in the question, like, what are we talking about here? Because if you price it too high,
it's gonna be like in the 5 to 6 range.
Really? You think they could afford $500 to $600, man?
Do they think they could afford it?
Do you think they could afford it?
To undercut the PlayStation 5 is the question.
Absolutely.
What? Really?
I think, do we think this is the state's listed specs? Did they list specs, or people seem to have So what is it?
Semi-custom AMD Zen 4 6.
It's hard to say, right?
12 teraflop, up to 4.8 gigahertz with 30-watt TDP. It's a semi-custom GPU from AMD, 28 CU, 2.5 gigahertz max sustained clock, 110W TDP. It's got 16 gigs of DDR5, 8 gigs of DDR6 VRAM. It's going to be a 512 and a 2 terabyte version. Both of them are going to include high-speed micro SD card slots.
I just don't see how you come under 700 for this. I really don't.
they seem to think this is for not really the PC players, but for console players that
Oh,
Oh,
definitely.
100%. I mean, the
waiting.
whole point is
Absolutely.
they market it as something you connect to a big screen TV. This is aimed at people like you and Jim, where it's like the PC is just this enigma.
And Steam OS, so it's very
Right, and it
console.
runs Steam
It's essentially a
OS.
I
console.
just got, by the way, I just got a laptop and I can't figure out how to save
Hmm.
a game on it. So that's where I'm at. It's running in the background right now. I can't figure it out. I got it through good old games. It's an old game,
Even if
and
it's
I don't know.
seven,
I don't know how to save.
I still think seven's fine. I
No,
think
no. I mean, 7 would be a fine price, but I'm just viewing that more as the minimum rather than the max. Where I'm like, if they price this like $1,000, it's like game over, man.
Oh no, it's dead. It's dead
This-
if it's not that. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. My
This,
basis is if it's under 700 for sure.
Sure.
Like I think
The
it's
role
gonna
that-
do fantastic if it's under 700
Right.
because this thing is just gonna eat up any Xbox. Just gonna take every Xbox player, like and just be
Yeah,
like,
that's what this role is. It's the Xbox replacement since Xbox doesn't need hardware, or if it's going to release like some $2,000 piece of shit next generation. Who knows what the hell that thing is going to be?
And it's definitely,
Microsoft
like,
releases that.
room for failure here for sure because we've seen it already.
Yeah.
But Steam is just on such a high right now.
Yeah.
PC gaming master race, right? And this is you just basically say, hey, you don't have to worry about like trying to get these $1,000 GPUs and
Yeah.
trying to build a PC. This is pre-built for you, geared towards the casual gamer. And now you can have every game that all your friends are trying to like tell you to play. You can play them now with them because they're on PC. Now you can be on PC with them. This thing is gonna. I think it's gonna be awesome.
I hope it's awesome because.
Dude, I just get one to put downstairs on my and use on my TV. It's like,
Well, yeah, obviously. But just Steam has grown, probably doubled in size since the last time they did the Steam machine, like a decade ago, right? I think
if not more.
If not more,
I mean,
yeah.
it's like
So
maybe like 10 times.
right, and if it does take off, I can see it doing well. International markets, right? There's still a lot of areas where even like Nintendo or Sony, like they can't really make as many moves because of whatever government like type interferences and stuff where they weren't able to release to market until recently. It's like what's a Nintendo? What's a PlayStation? These markets don't have no idea what those are, but everybody knows what like a PC is, or games in general. It's like, oh, okay, I can download this. So I hope it does well. I hope it does better than the last iteration.
I do think the Xbox totally destroying their hardware market really gives it a better shot than the old one had.
For sure.
So there's one more thing I want to talk to you guys about. I put it on here. I'm assuming at least you, Tony, have watched the latest Metroid Prime 4 thing.
Oh,
There's
God,
some controversy here because, and I'm assuming this is really just like a prologue thing.
Yeah.
But there is a terribly realized character in this, a super annoying, cringy dude, just talking at you constantly in this one section, which couldn't throw off the Metroid vibe anymore. It's kind of shocking, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it's going to be that too frequent in this game. But we'll see.
Yeah,
what do you think?
I watched the trailer first, and I like the trailer for the most part. The character in question, I was like, okay, that's weird. But apparently, I guess his name is Miles. But apparently, in this I don't know, 1 hour, 2 hour demo that all these outlets got to play and preview for this video drop, complained about him a lot and said that he was pretty persistent in their footage. So I'm kind of where you're coming from now, where I think this is basically just a character mostly for the tutorial, where it's just because he does do things like, hey, maybe you should try using your psychic powers over here, and it's like, oh, okay, that's, I get it, right? First person shooters can be kind of intimidating, I guess, if it's your first thing. I don't know if
this is also Metroid. It's
right.
Supposed to be a little vague and confusing.
Right. And, the thing is, I'm wondering if it got to the point where they want to expand Metroid, obviously. So it's like, how do you expand the audience? Right. And also, Fire Emblem is a perfect example of that, where it's like Fire Emblem for years was like a super niche, like hardcore type of game for the Nintendo fan base. And then the first game that they did, where they watered it down a little bit, or at least had the option to, it took off and it saved the series. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, but I think that is their mentality. Where they're like, hey, Metroid is atypical in that, like, Samus doesn't talk, right? You look at all the big AAA games these days, whether it's Sony's suite, where it's the Last of Us, the Tsushima or Yote games. I mean, even God of War, Kratos didn't talk that much in the original games, and you have a fucking his kid and a talking head talking to you for half the game, right? So I just think it is a product of modern game design, where it's like, hey, we have to have something like that. And again, I'm not excusing it. Like, this character is around the whole game, spouting stuff at you. I'm gonna be like, yo, that fucking sucks. I'm just hoping it's just this
like that all the time.
Right. Well, so the thing about the trailers is we do see other characters from the Federation there. And my suspicion here is that every area you go to is going to be a different Federation person that you have to save and interact with in some way. So obviously, again, not excusing the character, it just maybe lead with a better foot than like the most annoying one, right? Because like I think it's intentional. Like, this dude is supposed to be like the dweeby, annoying, nerdy type. Like,
yeah.
But why would you lead off that, right? Like,
I don't know. I do feel like Nintendo is so insular sometimes. They might not notice the other side of these trends, and maybe didn't realize that this would be super off-putting to people.
Oh, it's retro. I mean, it's the American studio, so I feel they have to.
But I do think, the Metroid games, especially Prime, well, also the older ones, they're meant to feel sort of lonely, but I don't necessarily need that. Like, I don't mind the idea of there being other characters you can talk to, having the world or people make it feel a little more alive as you go through it. But I think the other problem is this guy just kind of sucks.
Yeah. No,
like, it'd be one thing if you had some other characters you could interact with and they weren't just super annoying. So hopefully that's not too much of it, but that has thrown some people off going into this, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Like, again, and I'm not saying I like it. I'm saying, like, okay, that sucks, but I'm hoping it's just a small portion of the greater whole of the game. But some people, it's crazy the reactions people are getting, where I'm just like, is it really that big of a deal to you guys? Where, like, I don't know, like, aren't we jumping to conclusions
here? Again, people are like, oh, I love how lonely it feels. Like, is that really the best part of Metroid, is that you feel like you're alone? I mean, I understand that's part of the vibe, usually, but is it really that's the most necessary? I don't know.
Yeah.
I always thought it was kind of funny how the game starts and ends with, like, there's a bunch of people to talk. Like the world is, like, active.
Yeah,
in the
shit
beginning
happens.
And the end of these Metroid things. Like, there's the Federation, people are talking, like, she debriefs, but in the middle, completely alone. So, I think there's room for other characters, but not like this, maybe.
There's definitely room for the franchise to be more accessible to a more casual, and especially with Nintendo Switch being so much more popular in the beginning and with a younger audience. Like what you mentioned with Fire Emblem doing that. Obviously, Elden Ring did it in a way, right? So you can be more accessible to more people without necessarily making it a bad game. It's like, and still have the essence of what the game people, like the people, things that people loved about the game, and still be there.
Right, and that's what it all is. Yeah.
This does remind me a little bit of Metroid Other M. If you remember that game where they tried, Samus did talk in that one too much, and they tried to, like, make it the story and have her bounce off other characters, and they made some real kind of cringy pseudo romantic, like, protege thing with
Adam.
It made Samus look way worse than she's ever looked as a character. But the game itself was not too bad.
Yeah, the game itself I thought was actually pretty fun.
It was pretty good.
Yeah. The action parts are great. I like that.
That one was the hybrid like third and first person game. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
But
I think it was just Sakamoto, who's the one of the producers / creator of Metroid. It's like people just need to take the writing credit from him. Be like, hey, what idea? Like, give us, like, kind of the Kojima thing, where it's like, what kind of ideas or vibes are we going for? And, like, let us, the actual people who write, let us do that part. Like, you could just give us, one or two sentences, and we'll work with that. Don't be like, oh, Samus needs to do. It's like, whoa, nobody wants that, man. Nobody wants that. It's like the baby, the baby, the baby, the. It's like, oh my god, like, yes, like there's supposed to be some like weird, like motherly things going on with the baby Metroid, but doesn't need to be her whole personality. Like, why was that at the forefront? It was weird. But yeah, not the. Other than that, I thought the trailer was really good, and I'm excited about that game. That is, probably.
Is there enough that differentiates it from the older Metroids? Because that was the other thing. Like as far as the gameplay goes, it looks kind of samey.
I'm still skeptical of it, but I think that's weirdly Nintendo marketing these days because there's always some stuff that they leave out of the marketing. Like, for example, Tears of the Kingdom, right? People were concerned about that. We're like, oh, this just feels kind of like Breath of the Wild DLC or something. And until they released that one video, is like, guys, these are the new powers, and like these are all new powers. Like the Sky World is new, the depths are new, like the towns are new, like this is all new. And it's like, oh, people are like, oh, like okay, and it's just like, right? It's unfortunate we all like to think like, hey, we're not the dumb one, right? But this is one of those cases where like there's a lot of dumb people out there who are gonna be like, yeah, like this is what Metroid is. Like one of the parts is like Samus jumps. It's like you and I, like we all know Samus jumps, but like a new person, like holy shit, right? Like I don't know. I'm not concerned, but I'm more on the optimistic end that like there's some parts that they didn't want to spoil for the marketing, and just want the player to discover.
This is pretty soon, right?
December
what was
4th?
it?
December 4th.
Yeah, pretty soon.
So eligible next
weeks.
year for the Game Awards.
Yep. Yep. I think that's it, unless anyone has anything else to add.
No, surprisingly big news week somehow.
Yeah.
It was big. All right, so you can find us at All You Can Geek or AYCG if we are, I think on YouTube we're AYCG. So we're normally on here about 8:30, 8:45 for the Gamecast. On Twitch, or anywhere where podcasts are available, All You Can Geek, AYCG, and see you again next week. How's it going?